is Goon Kid an actual kind of in-joke with it, or is it...
I mean, it's you know, the Go On Kid transition screen that goes on. I think it's just kind of silly. Well, it's funny. Not silly as in dumb, but, you know.
It is kind of silly, too, though. It's kind of dumb.
Funny. I think it's funny. Well, we're getting right into the first boss fight, and probably one of the hardest fights in the game, honestly.
It's just something about this game where even people who are good at the game, you can still game over on the very first enemy. I don't get it. It's great, but it's bad at the same time.
I think you can, during this first fight here, you can miss twice, which is fairly common. You can miss twice and still be safe, but if you miss a third time, you're gonna be praying for a crit, like PenguinNinja just got.
Oh, that's nice. He is off to a good start.
JC having an unfortunate miss. Oh, but he gets through it, just barely. Nice.
That's one of those things where it can happen, but you really hope it doesn't. Because it just makes everything feel like, oh, this is off to a bad start.
Luckily in this game, if you die in any fight, you can just restart it immediately right away. So it's not really all that awful, but you know, it's still annoying when it happens, especially during like the end of a long boss fight.
I know I've made use of that more than one time.
So PenguinNinja picking up the first partner, Kaylee. There's a fun bug in this game that all of your resistances, like status effect resistance and elemental resistances for your partner, are affected by the last loaded file. So Kaylee here actually has the resistances of the very last partner from the end of the game, so that'll make her quite the tank, which is, I suppose, fine for the 3 fights you get her for. But that glitch will also affect every single partner that we'll get during the game.
For some reason, I've never jumped over that barrel.
Oh, you just push it out of the way and walk around?
I've just been going slow this entire time. But hey, that's the difference between me and them.
So in these first fights, we'll be looking for Benjamin. The main character is Benjamin. If you hear me call him Ben or Benjamin, that's who I'm referring to. We're looking for him not to miss, because then you can... Oh, just like what happened to JC right there. If he doesn't miss, you can 2-round these. But if he misses, which is quite common, you'll have to go for the 3-round. His HP doesn't really matter at the moment, because even if you're dead, you still get full experience.
That's something I didn't realize until very, very recent. I kept trying to heal him back up. But, yeah, Penguin comes up to the first boss fight, which, the way it's programmed makes it very trivial, because he just takes Kaylee, casts Life on the Minotaur, prays it doesn't miss, and it goes down.
GG. Easiest boss fight in the game.
3-4 is a pretty solid time, like 40 seconds better than what I do. But JC isn't that far behind either.
Yep, Kayla's got to do her little surprise dance. Get back up, spin some more, and cast Life.
No, I was poisoned, but I'm going to be just fine.
PenguinNinja heading up to the cave here, going to be getting the second partner, Tristram, who is, unfortunately, the partner you get at this time. Not much of a Tristram fan myself, but, I mean, he'll do, I suppose.
Tristram's kind of like that, you know, oh, he's so cool kind of character that I feel like the designer is just like, oh man, the kids are going to love this guy. But then he steals your Dragon Claws, like, I hate this guy. He's not cool at all. But Tristram is also interesting to me because he has his own theme music, and throughout the game, Benjamin just like, you hear the theme music come on, and Benjamin goes like, what's that noise? and then Tristram comes on, kind of like fourth wall breaking right there.
Just about every time he appears in the story, he's got his music playing. So it's just one of those, oh boy, here comes Tristram.
He's so nice that he'll even sell you bombs.
Now, if you say no to him right there, you can actually get them for cheaper, but money isn't really an issue in this run at all, so you just spam A and get it done with as fast as possible.
Yeah, even if you mess up on buying items for this glitch later on, you can still, you can still recover, because even just fighting all the enemies, you have a huge buffer of gold, which makes it kind of nice.
Unfortunate double miss there for Penguin on the worm. So for these encounters, we're looking for 1 or 2 enemies in a fight. If you get 3, you can just run away and reset it until it appears, until 1 or 2 appears, and then because if you get 3 enemies, you don't really have any area damage at the moment, so you'll have to force a second round of battle, which just wastes time.
But at the same time, you kind of hope for a 3-unit battle after you get a seed, because then hey, you can dupe but not dupe that seed. But for now, it's just wasting time.
Yeah, we'll go over that a little when I pick up seeds here in just a minute or so.
Yeah, throughout this entire game, Benjamin's just carried by his supporting character. That and bombs and spells.
Oh, bombs are just great. So we're going to be picking up 4 different weapons in the game here. The bombs are the only ones that I believe they have a static damage. Like they don't gain damage based on your level. Or they might, just based on your level, but I don't think about your attack power or anything. And they can't crit, but they also never miss. So you're going to be seeing a lot of bomb usage this run.
Yes. Otherwise, you'll be missing left and right and dying several times. Same with spells, where they can't miss, but they also can't crit.
If you're attacking with a white magic spell, they actually can miss. It's rare, but I think that's might be one of the only cases where it can happen.
That's true. You can miss with exit, and life, and cure. Or can you miss with cure?
You definitely can.
Have you missed with cure on Dark King?
I've missed. Oh, not on Dark King I haven't, but on the first boss coming up, I definitely have.
Because that would be the ultimate slap in the face right there.
The Minotaur zombie giving a little bit of trouble to Penguin here. The Minotaur zombie is actually might be the only normal enemy in this dungeon that Tristram can't one-shot. So you have to use him to take out his buddy, and then you can just bomb him, since the bomb damage is spread out depending on how many enemies there are. Because you can't single target with the bomb, you have to attack everyone at once.
JaySee got to the seeds before PenguinNinja. So anytime there's going to be 3 enemies coming on, he's going to duplicate that seed. And seeds are actually ridiculously good items in this game. They recover all of your magic with 1 use. And magic is a very necessity for the speed run.
Oh yeah.
So whenever you see it coming up where there's like 3 enemies in a row, which is not going to happen anytime soon, you'll be running.
Yeah. Basically, if you just use a seed in battle, and you have to have your partner set to manual. Remember that, because I've messed that up. You have your main character use a seed, cancel back out, and then just run. So the game gives you 2 seeds in that situation. So you can basically duplicate seeds as much as you want. And JaySee actually coming up to the first boss here, he picked up Quake, so he'll be using Quake against the boss, I think, when he runs out of cures. You can actually just use Cure against this boss. And a lucky crit from Tristram there.
Well, the boss is undead, so just heal bomb him.
Yeah, but life doesn't work.
It's kind of weird how life works on the Minotaur, but not the undead Bone Dragon.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a programming error in the game.
You don't say.
There's a couple of those.
A little.
Another crit for JaySee.
This fight's basically just how many quakes is he gonna throw out, and the lower his health gets, the more. Ooh, that's not good. Tristram going down for JaySee.
Uh-oh. It's got one Quake. Oh, that's
No.
going to do it for him.
If PenguinNinja doesn't die, he'll be in the lead back again. But really, it's all up to RNG.
It's the name of the game here. Penguin getting a nice crit. Looking good, but he's gonna lose his main character. If Tristram goes first, he should be able to... Okay, he used life
Good
on
call.
Tristram just to make sure.
Good call.
So the auto setting, you can actually change between manual and auto on your partner. And if any character is below half health or dead, I guess, your partner will try to cure or revive. And that AI isn't actually set until their turn. So if you have your partner on auto, the boss goes first and kills Ben, your partner will still cast life on your character, which is just great for situations like that. And Penguin actually finally getting the boss down. I think both players having a little bit of trouble with this.
There's the Earth Crystal. Quite important to the game, except you skip one of them.
Yeah, about the 4 crystals. We'll only getting 3 of them. That's fine. The world can live off only 3.
We don't need fire.
Tristram showing off his sweet dragon claw you've got in that chest. And make sure you grab the sun coin over here, because it's a long walk back if you got to come back and get it.
I'm surprised Penguin didn't grab the explosives above the Dragon Claw.
And I think there's enough in Focus Tower, and then there's some next to Phoebe whenever we're walking over there. You cut it pretty close, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Alright, Penguin decided to grab Quake after the fight. Quake is going to save a couple of spell charges in the next dungeon coming up. You can use Quake on some worms instead of having your partner cast Thunder. JC's almost through this fight. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, no!
Oh, no.
He had to have been almost dead. That was going to be the turn.
And it's not like JC's a bad player by any means, but the game just has it out for him.
Yep. That's what's gonna happen in this game. Leads are gonna be changed by multiple minutes because of just bad RNG.
Like, the only thing you do is play obnoxiously safe, but, you know, that's a gamble in and of itself.
Right, because even then, instant death and petrify and crappy status effects can just end you right there. And Penguin picking up the steel shield. It's about a 30-second trek back if you come get it after you get the bombs, but you just pass by it on the way out. It gives a little bit of extra evasion and speed, and it's really not that far out of the way. So he just grabs it on the way out. Also picking up some cure potions there on the way out. He has to specifically get the cure potions now after picking up seeds, because they need to be in a specific place in his inventory for a glitch coming up later.
If you don't have it just right, then you have to do an entire part of the map.
Yeah, we're going to be skipping one whole quarter of the game, the northwest section of the map in Firebird. Oh, and JC's got him on the ropes again.
I think he's going to have it this time.
Oh, it's going to come down to this turn. Oh, wait. He's had auto on, so of course, Tristram's going to life. Oh, he should definitely get it. Nice.
Okay, so Penguin gets the explosives in focus. He's at 45. Yeah, it'll probably last.
Oh, for sure. He's about to pick up 10 more if he wants them right next to Phoebe.
That's true.
Yeah, a bit of a sloppy RNG. Not sloppy play. That's not what I was going to say. But the RNG wasn't too kind to JC, but he got through it.
There's always Pazuzu Tower.
Alright, Penguin picking up the third partner, Phoebe, who is significantly better than any of the other partners.
Who would you say is the best partner?
I really like Phoebe during the parts you get her, just because everything just dies.
Her magic's really good, and it's just like Phoebe's really good. Kaylee has a really good magic. Tristan really doesn't have anything. And who's Ruben? I don't know who Ruben is.
You get Ruben for like 5 fights total or something. It's poor
ridiculous.
guy.
He's probably like the nicest guy ever. Just he gets sidelined.
At least he has white during those 5 fights.
Yeah, and that's nice. White in life.
And you see Penguin here duping seeds, or no? He did do
No,
one. I saw 4 in his inventory.
If it's 3 landworms, I think it's called to dupe them or fight it out.
With quite a few of the beginning fights here, in the wintry cave, Phoebe can just manually cast fire on everything and end them. If you have her on auto, she won't cast it on everyone, even though they're all weak to it. But if you do it manually, it still works out. And then you'll see he'll probably use Quake here, because Quake, if there's 2 enemies left, will take out these worms. Did JaySee get the cure potions that were after the dragon? Because he didn't pick those up right there.
I don't recall.
He must have another box that he gets them from instead.
I'm pretty sure he's got something planned. I'll try to keep an eye out for next time he gets into his inventory.
Yeah, there's cure potions probably around everywhere, so he probably won't have any issue finding anymore. He just needs to make sure he finds them before he reaches the ice pyramid.
Sometimes I feel like in the wintry cave, it's be better to just leave Phoebe on manual, just because it feels like it's just as quick to mash through, fire all. But you could definitely screw up, and you know, if you're trying to swap from manual to auto.
I see what you're saying.
But hey, that's just me. Got to do scrub strats.
You and me both. Now, at some point in this dungeon, Phoebe will run out of magic, even though she has 10 fires and I think 5 thunders at this point. So there's just enough fights where you have to use, I think, 2 seeds on her to get through.
I think you only need 1 seed for Wintry Cave.
Is that right? Yeah, I guess we'll find
Yeah,
out.
you do it. You use it on before the last 2 or 3 enemies.
Oh, I suppose if you have Quake, you can actually
Yes.
save a bunch. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe I should start picking up Quake.
You haven't been?
No, I haven't.
It'll save you seeds. You won't have to worry about accidentally not duping one.
Well, yeah, my last race I accidentally used my last seed when I was trying to dupe. So I'm a bit of a... I don't really like seeds right now. I'm gonna end up duping like 8 for my next race just to make sure I never run out.
The overdose on seeds trying to run them out. So what is the logic behind centaurs in an ice place?
They don't know what they're doing here either. That's why after you beat them up a bit, they put their hands up. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was here. Hey, you want to hear this riddle?
I'm just kind of confused. Yeah, I want to hear this riddle.
Okay, so yeah, JaySee did pick up the cure potions. I saw them in his inventory just now.
Okay. Nice.
So the centaur fights are actually a little bit dangerous because you have to hope that they don't confuse Ben before he can bomb them, because confusion, it's a little dangerous. It doesn't seem that bad as it is in like Pokemon, but you can use up spell charges when you didn't mean to by casting them on yourself.
You can also bomb yourself, and that kind of hurts.
Yeah, that's a fun animation to watch.
Just like, no, don't use self-destruct. This is not Pokemon. Someone asked if 2 enemy encounters are bad when you get one cycle 3 enemies. It's not really, because like all the 3 enemies, there's a little bit of danger to them with RNG, because you have to kind of hope that Ben will go first and not will have to go first before the enemies do in order to kill him. And honestly, EXP is not something that you worry about too much in this run. EXP will come.
Alright, Penguin going right into the Squidite fight. With the resistance glitch that has been active from the start of the game, Phoebe's stats are high enough to where this fight is really not dangerous at all. The Ben can die, and that's really okay. Phoebe can most likely finish the fight on her own, just by auto-attacking it.
She also heals from being drained, so that really does help too.
Oh yeah, one of the resistances you have is Drain Resist, which lets you drain health from the enemy if they target with you, and it can crit too, and that's really funny. Oh, and Phoebe's bow also crits for about 680 damage. See you later, Squidite.
The next 2 ice areas are not as much of a pushover, but it should not be that difficult for the runners.
So Penguin picked up the Libra crest at the end of this dungeon, which lets in the story it lets you warp to a cave where you're supposed to get something that saves the town that Phoebe's from, which is alright, cool. But as you'll see, that doesn't really pan out all that well.
It's like she gets the wake water, and it revives his plants, and it only revives the plants. Like, oh,
Just one.
I kind of thought I'd revive the whole town. Shoot.
It's the most important plant in town, though. It has, like, its own island, in fact.
Well, what is the plant even supposed to do? It's been so long since I actually looked at the plot for Mystic
That's
Quest.
a very good question. One that I don't have an answer for.
I only ask those kind of questions. Good old man plot device.
Yeah. Dropping a bomb in the tunnel here. Phoebe looks for the water here, doesn't find it. Ben says, hey, there's an old man up here. Let's go beat him up. Maybe he still has the water. So they surround him. He gives it up and runs away. Like, alright, cool. I'm pretty sure that's how the plot goes.
Something beating up people, taking their items. It's an RPG.
Oh, that is right. You can actually buy... You can buy the cure Can you buy cure potions from Aquaria? Is it after the dungeon or just after the one plant? I think it is after just the one plant.
I want to say Elmagus' speedrunning FAQ, like at this point where Penguin's at, calls for, you know, resting in the inn, but with the seed gooping, I don't think that's actually required. So I'm probably going to stop doing that myself. You got seeds for days, you don't need it.
Alright, JaySee's keeping pace here. Almost to the Squidite boss. We'll see how much the ice golem will separate the runners, but first PenguinNinja has to get through this block pushing puzzle, which you will be able to skip half of, which is very nice, and make some chop off some nice crab legs at the end of.
JC didn't pick up fire. Did Penguin pick up fire?
I don't think people really do pick up fire.
That's another thing that the speedrun that Elmagus suggests.
Does it? Well, if you need fire, go for it. I'm sure it helps on the ice golem.
It does. It does.
I say
I think otherwise.
Oh, sorry.
I think otherwise you have to bomb that golem.
That's definitely what I do.
Yeah. So yeah, JC's on Squidite. first turn of all of these bosses where there's just the boss and multiple enemies, you do your best to try and get rid of the ads. And then you just hope the boss doesn't kill you.
Yeah, some of the ads in the later mini-boss fights can be pretty nasty if you don't take them out right away.
I think it'd be just absolute jerks.
Alright, Penguin showing off the tiny sequence break here. You can reuse one of the blocks from the previous puzzle, and using the jumping mechanic, can just jump right over to the boss. And I gotta say, I'm pretty upset that jumping is actually 1 frame slower than walking, because that prevents me from just like jumping everywhere, because it's really fun, you know?
It's fun, but you lose the control.
Yeah, that's why you have to tactically jump. You can't jump in a pattern that'll get you stuck on walls or anything.
It's also the thing that annoys me about it is there's like a lot of input delay in this game. Like you don't notice it when you're watching the runners do it, but you have to, in order to kind of keep at a good pace, you have to be inputting almost like half a second before. So you have to like be, thinking ahead of time where you need to go.
I guess I'm the opposite. I wouldn't say there's much input delay in this game at all. It's just everything is bufferable.
I think that's probably more correct to say.
Even in the battle menus, the battle menus go as fast as you can press buttons. That's probably where you're going to see most of the aside from awful RNG, that's where you're probably going to see a lot of time differences in these races, is just the menu speed.
Extreme bufferability works both ways. You can buffer some bad inputs.
Oh, for sure. Alright, JC beating up his old man, grabbing the wake water to save the single plant, while Penguin hops into the Ice Palace. In the Ice Palace here, you're going to notice seemingly random encounters, but they're not quite random. There's an item called the Magic Mirror that's shortly to the right of the entrance of this dungeon, but that'll show the invisible enemies, but you don't really need it.
Penguin probably meant to use Thunder.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just gonna reset. Not a bad idea. That's a good fight. You can just auto Thunder that one.
Yeah, works a lot better. And JC is a dungeon behind, but the Falls Basin where he's at right now is not long whatsoever. So, all in all, he's not that far behind PenguinNinja.
I'm too old for this in chat. I agree. I think the sprite work to have to show damage on the sprites is actually really neat, and I really like how this game did it.
It's one of my favorite things about the game, that and the music. But I do have to admit that that's a lot of extra art assets that have to go into doing that.
Yeah, if you're doing that with as many different types of enemies as Final Fantasy games have, that is a lot of extra sprite work.
Thankfully, this game works around that by reusing a lot of sprites.
Who is ahead? PenguinNinja is ahead. Gosh, I wasn't looking at the timer, so I didn't see what time he entered Ice Palace.
I should probably be keeping track of that myself.
It probably at least 3 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, JC had some bad RNG and died twice on the first boss. Where Penguin, I believe Penguin actually did die once, but still got through it pretty quickly. Shows how much I'm paying attention.
I want to say, isn't technically the Behemoth the first boss?
Is it? If you consider it a boss. I do, I guess you're right.
Because you can't run on it. And I think it might be flagged in the game as a boss.
Oh, I don't know if JC could have pushed that block where he was about to, but if he did, that would have been really bad. He would have had to exit and re-enter the dungeon.
I think I've tried it before. You can't.
Oh, that's good.
I find it interesting that, you know, they skip fire, but they definitely make sure to pick up a heal, because stone is very painful later on.
Yeah. Status effects in this game are actually pretty dangerous, just because you only have 2 party members. If one of them gets incapacitated in any way, it's pretty tough to come back from, because then you're not damaging the enemy that it's casting the status effect, and you have to waste your entire turn, you know, curing the other guy. So I can definitely see the benefits of grabbing heal, even if you don't really use it that much.
Yes. And there's... I think Kaylee has heal, Phoebe has heal, but Tristram and Ruben don't. Thankfully, though, they have life, which I think also heals stone.
Everything.
Heals pretty much everything, really.
Oh yeah, life is extremely overpowered in this game. It's a full heal. It cures status effects, brings you back from the dead. It's everything in one.
You don't have to be dead to have it casted on you. It's just,
Yeah.
I want to say what it does, like the way they coded it was they just, you know, okay, whenever life hits, then it just sets your HP to full and removes status effects. And they did a lot of weird, questionable coding in this game.
I mean, the only downside about it is that it can't be cast on both people, and Cure can, but that's normally okay.
True.
Yeah, there are a few instances where you would want to cast Cure on both players, and typically if you're casting it with your partner, it will bring both partners back to full, if not like really close to full.
Yeah, because your partner is always going to be a higher level than you, and I think Cure has part of its efficacy, you know, based on the level that you're at when you cast it.
These birds on Penguin's side are actually pretty dangerous. They have a petrify attack, which I believe affects both characters. Well, not at the same time, but no one has any resistances to petrify. But they don't use it that often. But if they do, it can cause some pretty bad situations. Luckily, though, you did just pick up the heal spell, so you can get rid of it.
I think the formation for that one, you basically try to kill the birds as fast as possible. And Phoebe's bow, shockingly enough, works well on birds.
Yes, it does. They are definitely weak to shoot attacks.
Birds don't like being shot. So yeah, there's just a couple of dungeons in this game where you spend a lot of time just fighting, and that's kind of where the difference between runners come in, I think. You know, just how well do you handle the different fights and setting it up. All the like mob types are static, but the actual, you know, formation that they are in when you get into them are randomized.
Yeah, the sprite on the overworld that you run into will always be in the battle, but there's a couple of formations, maybe 2 or 3, that you can actually get from touching that.
Yeah, you can't tell in this dungeon because they're all invisible, but did you know that mages are weak to fire?
They are. They're also weak to arrow, which we'll pick up later, and I'm pretty sure they're immune to quake, if you can believe it.
No, that one just sounds far-fetched. Also, I think it's only these mages which are weak to fire. The later sprite recolors aren't, for whatever reason. I might be thinking that differently, though.
I guess I don't really pick up fire, so I don't know. So Penguin here, hopping down this hole, picking up heal potions. It's really important that he picked up heal potions at this moment, because they need to be in a specific spot in their inventory. And after you pick up those heal potions, you are free to run out of seeds. Like, you don't have to dupe any more seeds. You can free up that inventory slot, which he just did, use his last one. And that's perfectly fine, because it needs to be empty for a glitch coming up later. these sphinxes here are actually kind of dangerous. I believe they can confuse, but they are actually weak to life. So you can just cast life on them and they will die, which is great because they're actually a pretty dangerous enemy. And Penguin also picking up the noble armor right here, which gives Benjamin water resist, which is very, very important for the upcoming boss.
There's a lot of things weak to life that really doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. The gargoyle enemies that you see in Max Ship.
Manticores.
Yeah.
You know, thank goodness though that they're weak to life, otherwise, holy cow. But yeah, it's the ice pyramid, what can you say? You go up, then you come down a little bit, then you go right back up, and then you go right back down.
I would say that Ice Pyramid drags on a bit, but I believe the giant tree later drags on a little bit too much more. Too much more? Yeah, that's proper English.
That's the thing.
It's that excessively more that it
Too much.
My speech weird.
Too much, excessively more, maybe
Yes.
a lot.
So Penguin dropping down the center of the dungeon here, going all the way down every floor down into the basement, where he will find the Knight's Sword, which probably won't be used.
That would be
you might
used
just
to
jump in
increase
there.
your
There's really
speed,
no
though.
reason to have it. Oh, that's
Increase
true.
your speed.
I guess we didn't talk about the other weapons. Having any sword equipped will give you 5 speed, which doesn't really help in too many situations because you're just such a low level that the 5 speed won't really help you. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, it can help you run away from battles more often.
It can also help you kind of gamble to try and get your spell in before the enemy does. Like exit.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I'm sure there's some situations where that is definitely useful. But you're like just on the cusp of maybe being faster than this enemy, so you might as well do it.
Yeah, I want to say there's a couple of formations where it, like a boss formation like Dullahan or something, where it specifically calls for sword exit. And of course, it can still wind up being where the enemy goes before you.
Right.
Now, Ice Pyramid, I've yet to kind of figure out where's the good time to use Seed here. Because you only, after that time where you start to drop down, before that, you're only using Thunder. So I guess you could Seed before that, and just Thunder the enemies, and then make a run for, oh, I should do that. What Penguin just did right there.
What did he do? Sorry, I was reloading the stream for a second.
He was jumping across the bridge. I was just been the slow guy who just walks the entire way.
I'm pretty sure you can fall off right there, so be careful.
Yes, you can. Oh, speaking of that, whenever Penguin fell from the top to the bottom and now he's here, he was falling up through the middle of it, but I noticed that no matter which direction you go to fall off, you still land on the same tile.
You know, now that you say that, that sounds right to me. Yeah, because once you get to the statue line, it is always right above you, no matter which way. Penguin making short work of the boss here, already down to his super melted phase.
He's applying fire to ice like a true champ.
Yeah, at this point in the fight, I think lower health, the boss starts trying to use his health drain attack more. But making quick work of him, he's already gone.
Very nice. And yeah, when he gets like the second or third phase, he starts draining all the time, and it's really dangerous.
Yeah, it's a little different than the health drain attacks that Phoebe's resistant to. I think it's just an attack that heals him in addition to doing damage rather than like a true drain.
Might actually be a water attack on everyone, and he just heals from water.
Oh, sure, maybe.
I wouldn't put it past them to code it that way.
Make sure you grab the coin there before hopping down. Also, nice 1 health that that Penguin had at the end of the boss. That was really impressive.
Yeah, everything's been working out really well for Penguin.
JC's gonna need an equally good fight if he wants to, you know, keep pace. You know, Pazuzu RNG aside.
There's always Pazuzu's tower. There's always Pazuzu's tower.
Picking up his noble armor, give him that ice resistance. Very important. It actually also gives you poison resistance, I think, which isn't a deal at all.
Yeah, poison does like a small amount of damage anyway.
The time lost from waiting for the numbers to tick is more annoying than the damage it does.
Yeah. I want to say JC's like 2 minutes maybe behind Penguin.
I'm gonna keep time. Like as soon as Penguin walks out of the dungeon here, I'm gonna write down what time it was at. I'll say it too. In fact, I'll just put it in chat.
I'll say it too. We'll both say it together.
There we go.
4104.
Which voice is which commentator? I am Mikan's box.
I am Mikan's box.
Now you don't know who's who.
And I have allergies.
Alright. So, Penguin needing 10 bombs to take out this battlefield. This is a really important battlefield here. He's going to be resetting the fights here until he gets a single squid, which has, I believe, a 2/3 chance of happening, so it's pretty common. Oh yeah, I did give it away, because I said I was putting the time in chat.
Oh, you tricked me.
They're on to me.
The last time I did this, there were cats like 4 times in a row, twice.
Oh wow.
I was so ticked off of this battlefield.
Yeah, single squid can clear it with 1 bomb. You gotta finish this battlefield 10 times, and you get a very, very neat spell. If there's a Sphinx in the battle, you don't really want to risk it because he can confuse you, so you just run away and try again.
You also can't kill it in 1 bomb, but every time I see a Sphinx in that battle, he always goes before you for some reason. There's always a preemptive strike.
Yeah, they like almost always get an unexpected attack, I feel.
All in all, though, with bad RNG, I think you can vary from like losing a minute, losing to gaining a minute.
Just based on Sphinx RNG? Right?
Yeah. Because a really bad one, I lost a minute. And the pretty good one, I was kind of on par.
Alright, last fight. Gonna have a single bomb left, which is fine, because you're about to pick up a couple more in Focus Tower. Picks up the Exit spell, which, as you would assume from the name, lets you instantly teleport out of dungeons, which it does that, but it also counts as an instant kill if you cast it against enemies. So even the time it takes you... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, thing to note, though, if you kill an enemy with Exit, you don't get experience or gold, but you get enough experience and gold with, you just don't care about it.
Right, you definitely get enough resources in this game where losing out on the stuff that you get from using Exit doesn't really matter. Only 1 Sphinx was actually really, really nice.
So, just kind of to let you know how much better these people are than me, he got Exit at like 43, 30, something like that, and my record's something like 55 minutes, 56.
Oh, 3 times save.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good.
Alright, JC on the Ice Golem. Let's hope he gets as good a fight as Penguin did. Oh, well. Good thing you picked up that water resist.
Yeah. He'd be in deep trouble otherwise. Okay, Penguin's starting to come up on the part where he glitches out and completely ignores Fireberg and everything after it. So what he does is you have your items set up in a specific way. It goes seed, cure potion, refresher, heal. He used his last seed, bought 0 seeds, used because you can do that. Used the 0 seed, got 99, bought cure potions to overflow and give him a Mobius crest, a sky coin, and I cannot recall the name of the other coin.
I believe it's the sun coin.
I think it sounds right. So yeah, he doesn't technically have to do like anything else until after Pazuzu.
Yep, he picks up 255 seeds, which is hopefully enough for anyone to finish the game. He kind of glitched out his inventory to get some extra stuff, so now we can just go right through here. Now I don't have to do anything in the fireworks section of the map. And as a side effect of that, this whole Windia section of the map still has all the clouds in it everywhere, but that's fine because the name of the area you're in still appears, so you don't like get lost or anything. Okay, so here Ruben jumps out of your pocket, gets beat up, and falls off a bridge. Who's Ruben? Well, maybe we'll see him later.
For a little bit.
And you can see Exit making quick work of that single mummy. JC's got the boss on the ropes here.
I think JC's taking it a little safer than what Penguin did. Penguin got pretty lucky RNG, and JC's just trying to make it work and not die and lose more time.
And unfortunately, Tristram joins again, but thankfully it isn't for that long.
Ruben is your sandwich, which came to life to save you.
Why, yes, that is a Reuben sandwich in my pocket.
I like my Reuben sandwiches to come with morning flails.
Anyway, JC taking out the boss. We're gonna get an actual time spread here. So the mummy enemies that are here in the Alive Forest actually take 3 attacks from Tristram to kill. So you definitely want to use Exit to instant kill those. Luckily, he should be able to one-shot the Spectres as long as they don't use their attack draining move on him.
Yeah, so when I got like 2 or 3 minutes difference, I was completely wrong. Either that or JC lost a little bit of time on Ice Golem. But I'm probably completely wrong. Really, any meal that doesn't come with a weapon is a disappointment. I remember the times I went to McDonald's. You know, I had a weapon with a Happy Meal. Or at least they weren't called weapons, but we used them as weapons.
I remember those days. It was great.
Great days.
So Penguin talking to the Decker tree here. Tristram and Ben are not threatening enough to for the tree to let them inside. So we have to go find someone who is much more threatening. And of course that would be Haley. Which is Navi. Yeah, Navi is pretty threatening, but that's the wrong game.
Okay. So is the Deku tree.
We can ignore that. So I think it was about 48 something whenever JC got out of the Ice Palace. So runners are about, what, 7 minutes behind? Or 7 minutes apart from each other.
Yeah, 7 minutes.
So Kaylee is over here in Aquaria now, and all she's done this whole time is sleep. So she's sleepwalked all the way to Aquaria and is going to be something like 30 levels higher than she was.
I don't even know why she's in Aquaria. Just, like, whenever you see Kaylee, she's sleeping for some reason, even though you cured her with Elixir.
Right, if she was feeling better, you'd think she wouldn't be sleeping in bed. If she was cured enough to walk all the way to Aquaria, that's why she must have slept walk, I think.
She's just going on a tour of the countryside, visiting every bread and breakfast. Yeah, bread and breakfast.
It is the ultimate power nap.
It's a power nap when you gain levels.
So thankfully Tristram is gone. He's more interested in other things, this old guy in the tunnel here. And we are so confused at him. We yell at him. He gives us his hook shot, thankfully, because it's really cool. And then Phoebe comes in and shows us exactly how not to use grenades.
Phoebe's just like, I'm mad at my grandpa for not paying attention to me, so I'm gonna blow up this area that he's working on. I don't know why, but it seemed like a good idea at the time.
I love how fast she moves in this cutscene. She's like, "Oh, I messed up. We got to get out of here right now."
Or maybe it's, "Hey, I set a bomb. We need to get out of here." Whereas Ben's just like, "Okay, I'll just stroll now."
That extreme shrugging that Ben does, make sure that you're also doing that at home every time he does that. It's very important. I just love the animation of that. So Kaylee's back. What did I say before? I think she's 28 levels higher than she was. Has a giant axe. Her axe even got stronger too while it was sleeping.
And more importantly, she has a lot of really nice spells. She'll pretty much carry you.
I think Arrow is actually her only attack spell, but
yeah, she has life.
It's just that's good. Yeah, life, I guess.
That's also an attack spell.
Right. JC's actually getting some pretty crappy Sphinx luck over here.
Ugh.
Though it is his last one, so that's good.
Oh, is he not going for the arrow?
He's leaving first and then coming back because casting exit while you're down there is slightly faster than
That's a good idea.
Out.
That's a really good idea. I should do that more often. I feel like a complete moron.
It's one of those small optimizations.
That's a good one. But yeah, Kaylee's so strong that it's just like, yeah, we're in an end game area, but she'll carry you, whatever. Definitely couldn't do this with Tristan.
No. Last run I did this, I actually tried doing this with Tristram and it didn't go so well. And now we get the arrow spell, which is just great because quite a very high percentage of enemies from this point on are actually weak to wind, which now both characters have it.
It is a ridiculous number. Like you would be. I don't think it'd be wrong to say at least half of every enemy is going to be weak to arrow.
I would say that, yeah. So if there are 2 enemies on the screen, Kaylee can actually just arrow both of them and the fight is instantly over. If there's 3, it becomes a little more dangerous because then Ben has to help. So you have to hope, and he's probably going to go after the enemy, so you have to hope that the enemies don't do anything to interrupt that.
Speaking of killer soundtrack, JC's in the area where it's arguably the best soundtrack, but we don't get to sit and listen to it all that often.
It's really unfortunate. I really want one of the runners after the run, if they like finish in first, to come over here and just like start dancing with the band that's in the hotel here.
Oh, here we come to the Great Deku Tree on Penguin. It's gonna be a long ride, full of leeches and zombies and
slimes and more leeches
and skulls and skeletons.
So thanks to Kaylee's giant axe, the tree is now scared enough to let us inside. Because Kaylee's just a monster. She sees wood, she starts going crazy. Now the 3 mummified is actually really scary because they have a petrify attack. And I like that tactic of single targeting arrow to make sure one of them dies, so you can guarantee finish both of them off at the same time next turn.
So I'll just go to sleep. You can handle it from here, right? Right? Because this is a really boring part coming up.
Oh, it's fine.
Seriously, there's a lot of leeches in this tree.
How can they open the fire door? There was an inventory glitch that they did in Fireburg that just gave them the sun coin, so they don't have to do any of the Fireburg section of the map.
So there's a town that's in danger of volcano. They just ignore it.
That volcano won't erupt. Everything will be fine. In doing so, they actually skip out on the life spell, so you won't be getting that for Bin at all. So if your partner ever dies, you better hope you can finish off the enemy, because you're not going to be able to revive your person.
And there's a couple bosses where they have instant death spells. You hope they don't cast on your partner.
I'm trying to think what else you skip over there. You also skip the white spell. You don't get white, I know. You don't get the Charm Claw, but that doesn't matter. And then Windia, despite its name, just has clouds on it all the time. They never blow away.
Are you gonna make that joke? You want to make that joke?
What? Is that not obvious?
No. The other joke.
I forgot what it was already, so go ahead.
What? It shouldn't be called Windia. It should be called Claudia.
Oh my gosh. Good night, everybody.
That was the same reaction you had last time I said it. I thought you said we're going to be doing bad jokes here. You've been spending too much time explaining how the game works. We need more bad jokes here.
I'm glad I forgot about it. It was so bad that I completely forgot about it. Is it possible to take multiple routes in this game? No, not really.
Yes,
unless you're doing like 100%, I suppose.
You can take multiple routes, but they be less optimal. Like all the enemies are in set locations, so yeah, you're not like saving anything by going different areas.
The only really multiple routes I could think of would be to maybe grab a couple more defensive items. Like there's the Aegis Shield at the start of Doom Castle that you can grab. There's the Apollo helmet, Mount Gale. If you want to go through 2 fights, that'll give fire resist. But at that point in the game, there's not very many enemies that use fire, so it's not really worth going to get.
Yeah, like less multiple routes, more just optional routes. So,
something interesting to say about the giant tree dungeon.
Something interesting to say.
I'm trying to find one.
Well, it's a giant tree, and there's a bunch of leeches. Like, theoretically, you're going into it because I've been infested, blah blah. And so you go in there, chop down a lot of it because you're helping, and then you also leave a bunch of dead leeches around in it.
To the question in chat, I honestly think there's a lot of RNG prevention. I mean, sure, don't get me wrong, the RNG can screw you over, but there's a lot of safety things that you can do in battle just to make things more likely to go in your favor in case something catastrophic happens.
I would say there's also thought that goes into it with you'd be like, oh, this formation, then you have to quick go to a different, different attacks to handle it, and that formation is random, so you don't know what's coming up.
Sure, you have to think and quickly decide what the best course of action would be. For instance, these slime enemies that are in the tree, that are going to start appearing in the tree now, actually reflect magic, so you can't actually use any all-target magic in the fight, or they're going to reflect like the full damage back at you, and that will likely do a very decent chunk of your health. So what's going to be the best way of dispatching? Do you single target arrow on both the leeches? The slimes are actually not immune to petrify, so the Dragon Claw attacking the slimes can actually one-shot them if you get lucky. But there is sort of thinking on your feet, trying to decide, can I effectively do this fight in 1 turn, or do I play it safe and do it in 2 turns?
Or is it also kind of like, hey, do I have enough health to squeak by the next couple of fights, or do I need to spend time going to the menu and healing myself?
It is a very simple battle system, so basic battle strategies, I think, that's not a wrong way of putting it.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, you do that for almost every game, every RPG, right? You deal with the RNG and use the best possible, or the safest method of whatever you feel comfortable with, you know? Sure, the battle system doesn't lend itself to be much more advanced than that, but it's still there, I suppose.
I also kind of feel like the RNG that's prevalent in this game has much more of an effect than RNG in other RPGs, because like the random stuff that happens can really screw you over pretty hard.
Sure, if you get crit on your partner and they die in 1 hit, I mean, that's it. There's no coming back from that.
You have to figure out how to die quicker.
And yeah, even if you do die due to things out of your control, restarting is very, very quick, because you can just restart the fight straight from there. There's no like having to reload a save or anything, which is great, because if you make a safety save in this game and you have to reload it, you're actually going to lose the resistance glitch. So it's very, very convenient that you can just restart the fight from any time. Also, unfortunate auto on JC's screen right there. Kaylee decided to use Cure on everyone. I don't know if that'll be enough damage for Ben's arrow to kill them all. No, it's not. You have to manually arrow all with her, or arrow 1, depending on your preference.
I think Penguin's coming up on Ghidra. So it's going to be almost, all for the wood area.
You say coming up, but I don't think that's quite the case. It might be a couple minutes though.
I completely misremembered where he was. Oh gosh. Yeah, okay, never mind. There's like 20 more fights. I just remember that little rock climbing area he was at. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that was pretty far into it.
Duetted? I don't think the demo actually affects that. I would assume not. Like, the partner that you get during demo play, I don't think their resistances actually carry over to the game at all.
Yeah, I don't think they do either.
So Penguin coming up on the Scourger enemies. These guys have an instant death attack, and they will use it. Luckily, they too die very quickly to wind. And JC getting an unfortunate side effect of trying to use arrow all on both characters. It lets all the mummies go before Ben, so they have a very good chance of kind of just shutting him out. But I mean, that's the risk you go for whenever you try to one-turn that battle formation. Also, he's out of exits. He just showed he was out of white magic. I think in this situation I might try running, though I don't know how well that would work this late in the game.
He's just gonna seed and go for it.
Yeah, might as well. What is this game even about? I think Malay in chat described it almost perfectly.
Yep. 4 crystals, world in danger, chosen hero. Don't worry about the specifics because there really isn't any. There's something about a prophecy and the hero of Crystal of Light.
Mac apparently is important because Pazuzu even knows who he is by name, but what's he doing?
He's on a ship.
With a bunch of monsters.
He's just hiding out. Why are there monsters on Captain Mac's ship? He's like, this is no way to run a ship.
I mean, it sure kept us at bay for a while. Or I guess it will keep us at bay for a while. He just doesn't want to be saved.
Is that a ship joke?
No.
I think it is.
Yes, the soundtrack in this game is definitely the highlight. And this game is definitely fun to run. A lot more fun than it is in a casual play, I think. Because you are always on your toes. What do I gotta do right here? And you get to listen to the jam and soundtrack. They should just make a new Final Fantasy piece of music from this game. That'd be awesome.
The thing I kind of liked was they kept using the same like melody throughout like all the town's themes. They just, you know, a different version of it for each town.
Yeah, I
It's
did
a nice
like
little
that.
touch.
Captain Mac owes an enormous debt to the player, and you're hunting him down for the ship to leave the guy.
Hey, Captain Mac, this is my ship now.
We do.
I'm sailing off to the sunset.
We do catch him, and we commandeer his ship. That does happen.
This game is, the entire world is full of monsters. Are you bad enough, dude, to run face first into every single one of them?
I actually like how the game makes the enemies like so much bigger than your characters. And this might sound a little corny, but I think it tells a better story. It makes the fights seem bigger than they are because you're this little guy fighting these giant worms and stuff.
It also, you know, makes them look a lot nicer too, because, you know, bigger resolution.
Oh yeah, I love the big expressive sprites on the enemies.
Oh tree, when will you leave me?
It's just about done. I think there's only 2 enemies left.
You say that, there's gonna be like 5 more rooms.
No,
It happened to me. It can happen to you.
I mean it this time.
There's only like 2 overly long dungeons. Ice Pyramid isn't that bad, but you know, this tree dungeon and then Pazuzu's Tower, you're like, oh, you know, you spend a solid 40 minutes in each.
I think 40 is a little bit excessive, but
Well, okay, yeah, 30.
the time between the previous split and the Ghidra split is actually about that long, sure, but it's not the whole dungeon. Also, that 3 skeleton fight is really dangerous. Luckily, didn't have too much issue getting through it. Going on to the Ghidra fight here. I believe he comes with 2 skeleton buddies, so you got to take them out ASAP. Ghidra himself, I believe, has a Paralyze and a Petrify. He might have both.
I think this one was supposed to be called for sword exit, but yeah, Penguin doesn't go for it. He just arrows.
Hey, arrow doesn't miss.
It's true.
So I can totally see the reason for that. Now, if we're lucky, you'll get a turn here. Actually, I don't know which stream has the sound on right now, but if you're lucky, you'll get a turn here where both of your characters use arrow and the boss uses a whirlwind attack that makes the same sound effect. So everyone makes that woo sound effect.
Yeah, I think Penguin's music is, yeah, Penguin's sound.
Alright.
Because they were just saying, hey, boss music, nice. Yeah, commentators don't actually get the sound, we just stare at the video.
That makes sense. Oh, yep, there's the Paralyze on Ben. We don't quite have Paralyzed resistance yet. I say yet, but I think both of these runners may not be picking up the item that gives it to them. Also, nice 2 health. Oh my gosh. Whoa, that was a quick kill.
Oh, very nice. Alright. Here's the Goon Kid. All those trees in the back.
Go on, kid.
All those trees spell letters, and they spell Goon Kid.
The Goon Kid name not giving JC the luck he thought it would. Or the luck I claimed it would. So
I don't think that's a nose, no.
So clearing out the boss of this dungeon actually removes all of the other enemies in this dungeon, which is great because there's quite a few of them in the way of this perfectly great chest over here, which has the meteor spell in it, which is absolutely amazing. So,
But before then, you have to chop down 1,000,000 mushrooms.
Oh yeah, don't worry about the mushrooms.
So,
These are the actual enemies.
I thought the mushrooms growing in a tree was kind of a bad sign for tree health. I thought the tree was fixed. So, logically, the mushroom should also go away. That makes things a lot nicer. But yeah, he just exits out. And see you later, tree.
This is the developer's signature. No, actually, I think it's supposed to be Go On Kid, but it's just not spaced out enough, so it just looks like Goon Kid. So Penguin buying the Cupid locket here in town, that actually gives you blind, confuse, and silence resistance. So it's very well worth the money, because in Pazuzu's Tower there's going to be quite a few enemies that can blind you.
Also, silence resist, you're going to be using a lot of spells from now on, so you want to keep casting.
I don't know how many enemies actually silence at this point, but the blind and confuse is definitely important. What is the estimate for this? It'll probably be, for these two runners, it'll probably be around 220,
215.
Yeah, just about maybe 230 for both of them to finish.
Yeah, so we're halfway through.
Blue Fox, that's actually a result of a glitch that was done earlier. We didn't do the Fireberg, the northwest section of the map. Completing that removes all these clouds, but since that isn't done in the speedrun, the flag is never set for the clouds to be removed.
Silence is poorly coded. It has no effect at all. Man, I'm just eating crow today.
Well, but you at least at least you're resistant to it.
Yeah, at least you're resistant to it. I feel like resisting blind isn't that important either, because bombs don't miss, right?
That's right, bombs don't miss, and I mean, you do use exit a good number of times, but I'm not sure if exit actually uses the normal accuracy check. It very well might.
That'd be something to find out. It's okay, I'm not here to be knowledgeable, I'm just here to make bad jokes.
Yeah, we're having fun. That's alright.
Honestly, I like this area that Penguin's at, because it's short, it's sweet, and you see enemies that you haven't seen yet, like Vampire, who uppercuts you.
Yes, the uppercutting vampires that are totally not Maleficent.
Yeah.
And actually, just about, I'm pretty sure every single encounter in here can be done with a single target arrow and meteor. Meteor is just that strong that even though you're only level 16 here, you're about half the level the game expects you to be. You can still just cast meteor and it just kills everything. As long as there's 2 enemies left, it should one-shot every fight in this area. Yeah, he has a hook shot. It's not quite the hook shot, but it's definitely the hook shot.
It's like a cool claw that also extends and hook shots. It's pretty cool. It also one-shots enemies if you're lucky.
That's true. The dragon claw actually has quite a few status effects. I think it's at least 6 that it can do. Petrify being the most important one.
It's kind of absurd how much it does. But I mean, it also increases the magic you have, your magic damage. So Penguin has it on sword for speed, but there's I want to say on the upcoming boss fight he should be changing it to claw to get extra damage on his spells.
Yes, having a claw equipped gives you 5 extra magic, while having a sword on gives you 5 extra speed. And sometimes those tiny stats make all the difference. Like, I believe if you're level 12 with the claw on, you can arrow the mummies, like a set of 2 enemies in the live forest from earlier. I believe if you're level 12 with claw, you can do that, but only if you have the claw on. That might be completely wrong, but it's just an example because it's something similar to that.
Yeah, it's something similar to that. But the speed's kind of weird though, because it's also randomized. You know, you may have 5 more speed. That doesn't mean you're always going to be going in front of enemies or in front of your partner. Just like a lot of other things in this game, it's quite random.
So Penguin here on Dolahan, which likes to use his instant death attack. You'll see a Doom Dance. It's that yellow whirlwind type attack that goes on your party, and that is definitely an instant kill.
But if he just keeps doing that, it's going to be relatively easy for Penguin. Penguin's been pretty lucky this run, I think.
I would say so. And yeah, the horse also doesn't have a face. It's the headless horseman on his headless horse.
I feel like there's a number of different shows and games where they've done that too. Like the first couple times I saw it, I was like, oh, that's actually really clever and all this. Now I'm just kind of like, it's like a given now. Dolahans have headless horses to go with the headless horseman.
That's true. And when he's almost dead, he's now the horseless. Or he's, oh god.
The headless, horseless horseman?
Yes. The headless, horseless horseman. Also, unfortunate that Kaylee got instant killed there. If he doesn't get this attack, this is going to be dangerous.
Oh my god. He's so lucky.
Gosh. If RNG's in your favor, you can do anything.
He is 23 minutes ahead of where I would be at this time, if things were going well for me.
Penguin is having some pretty good pace here, though an unfortunate Pazuzu floor can turn the game around.
Penguin left about 116, right? Well, let's see how far JC's behind when he leaves Mount Gale as well. Dr. Wily.
Yeah, the auto is totally not Dr. Wily.
Get some missions from the Weight Album.
This is bad. So, Penguin going into Pazuzu's tower here, which is the bane of anyone trying to push their time down. Because Pazuzu can appear on one of 5 floors. We're looking at floors 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. 6 being the best floor, and 2 being by far the worst. So, if you would be so kind in chat as to give your guesses where you think Pazuzu will end up showing.
Could he not also show up on 4-3? I know in code he shows it like he has 6 different entries for some weird reason.
What happens is he can't. You won't be able to fight him on the floor you initially talked to him on. And as you're walking up to floor 7, you know, to loop around, you just talk to him on floor 3. And then that's whenever his position is chosen. Why is 6 the best? That is because 6 is the quickest in order. So what happens is you climb to the top of Pazuzu's tower, like initially, and then you kind of loop back from the top downward, and you can actually fight him on floor 6 right then if you do that. Yeah, Opus has the order of speed there in chat.
Although you don't really know if he's going to be at 1 until you check the other floors, right?
That's true. But thankfully, once you know he's on 1, it's pretty quick to get to. You just have to exit out and walk up. So JC's on Ghidra. Let's hope that he has just as good a fight as Penguin, but that's going to be hard because that was a really good fight. Confused Kaylee isn't that good, but she still did exactly what she should have.
That's a good girl.
what happened to the left side to be behind? He had some unfortunate luck on the Earth Dungeon boss, the Bone Dungeon boss. But even with that, I believe Penguin has just been pretty luckier overall.
It's actually nice that JC still has some heal potions left. I thought he was going to be a goner there when Kaylee got petrified.
I mean, he still has the heal spell.
What am I thinking? Wow. I thought he didn't have heal for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, you get heal, and you know where you get it in the falls, basically.
I'm going to go to sleep. See you later. There's something about this this game where they like to have you go up a dungeon and then back down it and then up again. I guess I think it's a super cool design.
Oh, JC spoiling in chat that I think he had an okay fight. Yes, Transera, this is the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest 80% tournament. This is only, I think, the third match of the tournament, so we still have quite a bit left to go. We're still in the group stages. I think we have an exclamation MQ. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. If Benjamin attacks the far right monster, my game soft flexed. That sounds awful. No, I have no idea why that would happen.
I remember when I was a kid, we had Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. The game would constantly soft lock in Falls Basin. No idea why it did that, but it did. So I was always like scared of that place when I went into it.
Huh.
Just like,
I've
oh,
never actually heard that.
is it gonna freeze this time? I was kind of weird because it was an ice place and it kept freezing. So I kind of thought, you know, maybe it's supposed to be.
Any cool tricks involved? Yeah, there's an inventory glitch that happens that lets you skip the entire northwest section of the map. So basically 1/4 of the game is cut off and you have to use some low-level strats to get through.
There's also another inventory glitch where you skip the runaround and just, you know, get Thunder Rock and all sorts of other stuff, and yeah, you just skip parts. Skip annoying parts.
Sorry to interrupt. Storm, if you're referring to the resistance glitch, that absolutely is allowed and very, very difficult to go fast without, actually. The only important resistance that it doesn't give you is Petrify, which is unfortunate because there's definitely some enemies later in the game that will petrify you. Kaylee here is actually supposed to have Petrify resistance at this point in the game, but due to the resistance glitch, she doesn't. But she just has so many other important things that it's hard. Well, I mean, right there would have totally been useful.
Yep, there's the exit, life, and then pray combination.
Yeah, the 3 Sphinx fight is very, very dangerous. Yeah, this whole tunnel, this staircase here has 3 of these fights, and I'm pretty sure all of them are 3 Sphinxes. I don't know if you can get a 2 Sphinx, but this is a pretty tough part.
I think mentioned I can't remember getting 2 Sphinxes on the area.
I think, Duetted, I think Tristram might be the only partner with Doom Resistance. I don't remember if Kaylee has it or not at this point, but I know Tristram does have it. But I don't know what else he has that's useful. So you might be missing quite a bit. It's just really trading one method of instant kill to another.
Yeah. Real players just, you know, they don't take any resistance whatsoever. They resist glitch early, Kaylee.
I wonder what is she even resistant to anything? Definitely not poison.
I don't think. Yeah, definitely not poison. Kind of feel like coming on to that point where it's just kind of like, yeah, I think we talked about everything. Just have a comfortable silence. Also, science is starting to kick in, so I feel like everyone can hear how backed up my nose is.
Oh, you sound fine. As long as I'm not talking at the same time as you, and it echoes kind of a little bit there, but it's fine.
The penguin's already at the top.
Yeah, meteor strats don't work quite as well here, but we're definitely gonna be a lot stronger here in just a little bit. We'll be picking up the flare spell as we're heading back down the tower, and it's super duper strong. It makes exit strats, you know, a little redundant, I suppose, because it just murders everything. Except these beholder guys. I guess we should have talked about this earlier. These beholder guys actually do reflect magic, so it's a little difficult to, you know, to multi-target things down when they're around.
Oh goodness!
And that's the Sphinx.
I'm gonna see if I wonder if oh, Penguin's trying to exit on the Sphinx. I think he'd probably be better off if he was arrowing the Sphinx and then exiting the Thanatos.
I think it's about the same either way.
Well, I think like Kaylee always goes first around this time.
Well, the thing is, the Sphinx has Petrify, doesn't it? And then the Thanatos has Doom Dance. So either way, both of them have one shot.
I feel like the most annoying part of Thanatos is curing, because he does it all the time.
That is true. He definitely has a cure. But luckily, both of your attacks that you would use will one-shot him. Mareeps, I would totally agree with that assessment. The behemoth fight is insane. JaySee trying to heal strats on Dolahan. This is something I only found out about last match that was on this channel. Casting heal on the enemy gives a chance at some status effects, and I think paralyzes one of them. You can actually skip his turn if you get a lucky heal on them. And since Benjamin just does so much damage with Meteor, you don't necessarily need Kaylee's help.
I do like that. Yeah, there's a little like custom animation for healing on the Dolahan on enemies.
When I saw that earlier, I had no idea what was happening. I was like, what's making that little guy come out and poke him?
Poke, poke.
I might have to try using this.
I like it, but it doesn't seem to be working out for JaySee.
Yeah, that is true. Losing Kaylee's damage is very difficult. Then again, she would really only be able to attack every other turn anyway because of how much damage this guy can do to your party. That she has to cure both.
Absolutely true. She's just constantly on healing duty there. And Penguin just kills his color reswap with no problems.
Oh, Kaylee, she's fine. That's good. And you see the critical hit text. Something's about to happen. Oh my gosh. This should do it, right? Nice.
There you go.
Penguin very close to grabbing Flare, and then we'll find out if he got the lucky number 6.
I said 117 for Penguin when he left Mount Gale, right?
That sounds like a thing you might have said.
So JaySee is something like 12 minutes behind now. They're both good players. I think Penguin's just been getting the luck of the draw here. We'll see if his luck keeps up and see where Pazuzu lies.
Even with a floor 2 Pazuzu and JC getting a floor 6, well, no, that might even it out pretty well.
I feel like he'd be able to catch up a couple minutes, but not 12.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's just that many fights before he gets up there.
Yeah, otherwise there'd have to be something like Penguin dying several times to Za. Is it Za? Is it Zoo? I don't know. I never know.
I like Za.
Za.
What happens if you don't talk to Norma? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think the plot stuff that happens after this, you probably don't get Ruben. He probably that whole event probably doesn't trigger, I would imagine.
That sounds very likely.
Or you never get the quest to go do the runaround to find the Thunder Rock or something. Yeah, that's probably what happens. Flair making quick work of everything. Alright, here we go. Is it floor 6? It's floor 6?!
Holy cow. Everything's going Penguin's way.
Penguin taking a commanding lead. Holy moly, dude. That's crazy. So with floor 6 Pazuzu, after hitting that switch, you can just walk right up here and fight him. There's nothing else you gotta do.
I don't want to call it, but there's a very good chance Penguin's got this.
But that's okay.
That's okay, yeah.
It's about the journey, not who finishes in what place.
It's about the experience that we share with each other. And all that other, Saturday morning lesson.
So Pazuzu's a particularly dangerous fight. He crits hard. You don't want him to do that. Definitely. Every 5 turns, and then I think every 3 turns after that, he'll put up this Psycho Shield, which if you attack him with a spell during, he will reflect it back at you. So you can see his little animation there. He keeps it up for a full turn, so you pretty much just use this turn to heal up. And then he will turn off Psycho Shield when it is his turn next. So Kaylee actually has a small chance of going first. Well, not necessarily a small chance, but she has a chance of going before him. So you really don't want to attack with the spell with Kaylee, just in case she casts it before Psycho Shield can go down. But with Benjamin, you can absolutely use the spell with him, because it will definitely go off after the Psycho Shield goes down.
Everything's looking pretty good for Penguin, so I think it's going to be a pretty solid fight here. Pazuzu's already down on the ground, looking pretty mad. He's probably only got 4,000 or 5,000 health left. Pazuzu has like the second most health in the game. Is that right?
As opposed to Dark King? Yeah, maybe.
He's got a lot of health.
Showing off those auto strats there. Yeah. As long as Kaylee hasn't taken her turn, her auto can do whatever it wants, including reviving you to use your attack during that same turn. Also, amazing fight.
So he finished that with 134. Like, what kind of pace is he on to finish the game with?
I haven't done enough runs of this game to actually know.
I want to say, like, he could finish the game in another 30 minutes, right?
I would say absolutely.
So that's like a 204. It's crazy.
So due to the inventory glitch we did earlier, you actually don't have to pick up the sky coin right there. You can just leave it in there. So that wasn't actually a mistake. He didn't forget anything. He just already has it.
And so he goes to buy 0 cure potions.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, looked like he was going to want to use it, and you don't want to use it just now because otherwise it'll soft lock. You want to get Ruben first.
Yeah, if you use those cure potions to get the Thunder Rock, this cutscene that's happening right here just doesn't happen. So you have to make sure you use the cure potions after you get Ruben in your party.
What is the current world record for any percents?
That would be 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 57 seconds by Elmagus.
Holy cow.
Elmagus? Yeah. Which is actually 5 minutes faster than second place.
Like, I feel Penguin's definitely top 3 with this pace that's coming in. Hey, who knows? I've been wrong on a lot of things so far. But this has been a very impressive showing from him. A combination of luck and a combination of skill with menuing. He's been really solid on that all game.
JC coming into... Would this be the hellway of this game? The 3 Sphinx hallway? It's pretty hard. I know hellway is a term that's thrown out a lot with other games, but I feel like this one's pretty dangerous.
I thought you said hellweight for a second. I was like, oh, he's talking Mahjong again.
Anyway, Penguin going on to Max ship here. This is a fairly easy dungeon if you know where to go. There's very few fights. There's like 5 fights or so, and Ruben's here with you. Ruben comes with the white spell now, which is actually fairly strong. There's a couple formations that you can just use white and flare and just wipes everything else. And then there's the odd situation where Ruben can just defend you while you cast flare, and that'll still wipe everything out because flare is just that strong.
There's a number of enemies that are weak to fire too, so...
Oh yeah, and flare being a fire spell definitely makes quick work of them. Later on, there's actually a couple enemies that are resistant to fire, so you actually still need to keep Meteor handy just in case. This 2 Thanatos fight would be dangerous if Ruben just wasn't there to protect you. As long as both of them don't use Doom Dance, there's really nothing that can go wrong there, since Flare will beat both of them, as long as there's only 2.
Speaking of 2 Thanatos.
There it is again.
Right about this time that Penguin's at, I'd be finishing up Mount Gale. Yep. Oh, it's crazy the time that he's going at. And JC is also handily beating me. They're both better players than I am. It's just JC got the rough end of the stick with RNG, and honestly, a lot of things have been going right for Penguin.
I
hear
this.
The gargoyles, right? The
Yeah,
ones that you can
life. Yep, you can life these guys, just like that. In fact. This is a pretty silly video game, I do agree. And is that the last fight of this dungeon? That's like already over. Yeah, make sure you pick up the Gaia armor there. Gaia armor is very good. Gives you wind and sleep resistance that you didn't already have.
Hey, Captain Mac, did you know that your ship's full of monsters? I'll just take it off your hands.
Ruben learning to breakdance there for a second. Don't worry, he practices some more in just a little bit.
Then Ruben figures that the breakdancing life is not for him. He leaves in shame.
Yep, this was definitely Final Fantasy USA in Japan. It came out here first. to be, you know, baby's first RPG. And to be honest, it was like my first RPG. So, but that's besides the point.
It was a
And
number of
then
people's
they
first
released it over
RPG.
there. Yeah, there's Ruben doing the breakdance again. Getting down. And then you take a quick nap here, get everything hooked up, because you
Is
gotta
the
go
nap
talk to Mac.
Is the nap required, or is it just, you might as well do it on the way?
No, you might as well do it on the way. It might actually be faster. I think the getting out of bed animation makes it maybe not faster, but you also don't have to go heal and use seeds in a menu.
Makes perfect sense. Alright, now Penguin steals the ship, and he goes fight the evil. Because everyone knows how to drive a ship, right?
Yeah, you press A on the wheel and spin it around a bunch.
So how's JaySee doing at the Zuzu Tower?
He's just about to pick up Flare, and then we'll find out if he also got a floor 6.
Let's see if Penguin goes for the Aegis shield. See if he gambles.
I would imagine on the pace he's on that he will definitely not. Oh, here's the triple ninja with the Doom Dance. These ninjas have an instant kill, and that's pretty awful.
Oh, they
can
sent
also
another one.
multiply themselves. And luckily, when there's already 3 enemies on the screen, they can't duplicate themselves, but they will try, so they can waste turns that way.
Oh, those ninjas.
2 fights left for JaySee, and we get to find out. Yep, Penguin is skipping the Aegis shield, so he will not be getting paralyzed and petrify resistance. I have a feeling a lot of the top runners in this game will definitely skip that. Myself, I would probably definitely be getting that, because I'm scared.
Same thing.
So now we get into the round 2 fights of the bosses. Except this one isn't exactly immune to instant death, so see you later. Boom, fight's done.
That is quicker than the strat I was doing.
You can both life and exit that boss, and it just instantly kills him. I definitely like that strat, because if Benjamin doesn't die, it also wipes out the 2 guys. The 2 ninjas also. And here comes the moment of truth for JaySee.
Oh, nice.
He also gets a floor 6.
So this is the this is what skill looks like.
Holy cow! This is great. I am.
Oh, Penguin taking a dirt nap there.
Yeah, those Cerberuses have a petrify.
The ninja also insta killed Ben. I've never had these ninjas duplicate as much as I'm seeing them do on Penguin's screen.
The Cerberuses are pretty dangerous because they can petrify, and as you know, he didn't pick up petrify resistance. But luckily, even if there's 3 enemies in the screen, Flare will still kill one. As long as, Ben survives long enough to use it. JaySee on his peasant fight.
You don't need to see to use thunder.
It's true. Just point your hand behind you, and
strike that thing over there.
It also works with bombs. Just throw bombs behind you. They will never miss. I agree. Walking backwards in place is a pretty good animation.
So yeah, I think the saying goes, close enough counts only in thunders and hand grenades.
Sounds familiar. I think I've heard that one before. Oh, lucky miss. So these shadows actually, since they're weak to thunder, I mean, even if they weren't weak to thunder, you could probably just quite the vast majority of fights that from here on, you can just thunder the stray ninja and flare the rest. Because Flare is that strong, and Phoebe's fast enough to take out the ninjas before they do too much damage.
Everyone knows that ninjas aren't faster than lightning.
Also, it's kind of funny that they chose to put in the enemies from the previous dungeon in these revisits. Like, they're not souped up versions of those enemies, they just are the enemies. So those guys have just a couple hundred health and will die to almost anything. Oh, JC might be... Oh gosh. Oh, it's barely okay.
Yeah, Pazuzu is scary. It just... Things were working out well for Penguin, but JC gets the brunt end of it. But you can see how he handles it. The recolor Pazuzu has an interesting attack where he only does 1 damage, and if you're lucky, he does that quite a bit.
That's actually a bug with this version of the game, but I guess we'll go over that whenever that fight comes up.
You can explain to me what it's supposed to do.
I don't think he's just supposed to use it at all.
Oh, weird.
So Penguin coming up on the Ice Golem refight, which is the Stone Golem. Interestingly enough, he's also not immune to Exit, so you can just cast Exit on him and he's gone. As long as Ben survives these opening attacks from Cerberus.
It's probably why I leave Phoebe on auto, just in case they kill Ben. Phoebe can life him and he can get his exit off.
Oh sure, that makes sense. Oh,
ooh. Oh.
Nice, but he gets through it. He gets through it because Flare is amazing.
Very nice.
JC's wrapping up Pazuzu. Oh no, he mistimes. Kaylee decided to go first. He was expecting Kaylee to go after Pazuzu, which is typically what happens. But is this Flare gonna round it up? Oh man.
It would have been the worst thing if that didn't kill him, but thankfully, JC doesn't have to redo Pazuzu.
Oh my gosh, that was a nail biter. How many bosses are weak to life? Yeah, just the Skullrus Rex and the Minotaur at the start of the game. As for Exit, I'm pretty sure the Stone Golem might be the only boss that can be exited. Well, and Skullrus, yeah.
There are a few specific cases where attack down makes it really annoying, especially like attack down on Tristram, yeah.
Alright, JC buying his heal potions, or I guess rather not buying any heal potions, but that's exactly what should have been done. Grabbing Ruben, gonna glitch out his Thunder Rock, and Otto is surprised you found it so quickly. Well, it's actually just in my back pocket here where I keep my Ruben sandwich.
I keep it in my back pocket along with my 0 cure potions. Would you like a 0 cure potion? It somehow works.
So Penguin's in an area that is a redesign of an area that you probably haven't seen because we completely skip it in this route. But this is pretty accurate to what it is over there.
Fire and dogs.
Fire and everywhere. Yeah, this giant lake of lava above the Ice Palace part. I don't know how the Ice Palace part actually stays intact with this giant lava pit above it.
Well, considering it's a stone golem there, maybe it's not actually ice. There's just, stone that looks like ice.
It's painted rock.
It's just crystal.
So The twin-headed wyvern fight here. Ooh, can paralyze as seen right there. And actually probably the only dangerous enemy that uses fire. So this would be really the only point in getting the Apollo helm earlier at Mount Gale. But even then you still don't really need it. Penguin casting Flare. Oh well, I guess that was to make sure that the other guys died.
Yep.
Being a fire-breathing dragon, he is definitely resistant to fire, so you want to use Arrow on this guy.
Or Meteor.
Did he use Meteor? Does Meteor do more damage than Arrow?
Well, let's see. I think Arrow does like 1500. So
17's pretty good.
And then he could just, you know, when he's out of Wizard, he can just go cast Arrow.
Sure, that makes sense. So you don't have to use a seed. Though I don't know if he would last through as many Arrow casts as you have. He might just not run out, actually. I do like how you chop off one of the heads, and then the stump of the neck just goes away.
Just chopping off the stump.
Chop off the stump.
Very nice.
See you later, dude. Yeah, Wyvern I feel like is one of the more easier fights in this area. I say that, but two of the bosses are just instantly killed.
One of the easy ones that you actually fight.
Right, of the 5 bosses in this dungeon, of the 2 of them you actually fight, he's the easier one.
Zuz is definitely not one that he's not a pushover, let's say.
Za is definitely the final boss.
I still get lost in this area. I'll admit it. When that penguin's at.
It did take me a couple tries to get through.
I keep thinking, yeah, I go this way, and then wait, no. No, wait, where do I go now? Shoot.
JC resetting for the 2 Thanatos fight over here because the other one with the 1 Sphinx and the Beholder is just a nightmare. Since with the Beholder you can't multi-target magic at all, and then 2 of them can one-shot you before Ben gets a turn off. Resetting until you get the 2 Thanatos fight is definitely a good idea. Doesn't the game give you 99 of every item for the king, even though you can just hit? Yeah, you can definitely. Yeah, the 4 chests that are around the statue at the end of the game, they will max you out on your usable items. I think there's only 4 chests, and there's like, I guess 6 consumable items if you count bombs and arrows. I'm not sure which ones they actually are.
I don't think they. I want to say it's just the items, but. It's been so long since I picked them up, I have no idea.
Yeah. You also get a full heal right there, so even there still wouldn't be of any point in picking them up because you don't need anything. Who's in the lead? PenguinNinja is in the lead by a pretty significant amount right now. At least 10 minutes, I'd say.
Meanwhile, JC's playing Grand Theft Chip.
Commandeering his ship. Thanks, Max. See you later.
Sid Meier's Pirate.
So, on Penguin's side here, these 2 Chimeras, the Chimeras are strong against fire, so you don't want to be using Flare against these guys. A Meteor will definitely clean them all up, though. Oh, unfortunate Petrify. Yeah, that's going to do that.
This is kind of like the battles I was talking about, where Penguin's gambling going into the fight with 300 health. And they're like, yeah, they won't kill Ben, but
Yeah, if your partner gets petrified, Ben's going to eat all of the damage from an AoE attack. So, I mean, that's the luck.
That's the luck.
Phoebe barely inching it out. JC not taking the free heal from the bed. Oh no.
JC's too good for heals.
And then he goes and heals anyway.
He's too good for other people's heals. He has his own. He's the kind of guy that brings food into a movie theater.
Oh my gosh.
Yo,
What
he's
a good
evil.
kid.
What a goon kid. He's such a goon kid that he brings in food to a restaurant. His own food.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, that's a thing? You can just go down on that map?
Yeah, if you, you're talking about the dock, right?
Yeah, the dock.
Yeah, you can just exit to the south and then walk up on the world map. That might actually be marginally faster. I'm not quite sure.
It looked like it was marginally faster.
These two Chimera fights are giving Penguin a little bit of trouble, but that one went okay.
He's such a goon kid, he leaves himself a tip.
Scary triple Shadow fight. Shadow didn't do anything. Oh, they also have self-destruct. They just want to do 900 damage to you or something, they can.
Shout out to all the Final Fantasy VI runners. This one's for you. GIF of Shadow dying.
I see. JC also opting to skip the Aegis Shield. So I believe this part that JC's at right now is actually the only required use of the Mega Grenade. I mean, it's really quick and strong anyway, so you'd still go to get it if you needed, or if you wanted the power of it. But that's actually the only required use of throwing the bomb, as long as you're doing the speedrun route, that is.
Correct. There's a couple times in Pazuzu's Tower where you kind of want bombs for the gazers, but that's about it. That's like the only spot where it's really required.
JC had an unfortunate miss with exit on the boss, so he's having a little bit of trouble here. While Penguin is on the Za fight, the true final boss, I believe he does Psycho Shield either 3, it might be 4 turns initially, and then every 3 after that.
Sounds right.
He also has Doom Dance, or he has something that'll just kill you. It's Petrify or Instant Death attack for sure. He's also very, very fast, so it's likely Phoebe won't be able to get a life off before she takes the next hit. He's bugged in this version, actually. He can use Psycho Shield as an attack that does 1 damage to both characters, and that's pretty amazing because that's not dangerous at all. He's definitely not supposed to be using that attack. Someone said in chat earlier that it's supposed to be some sort of defense lowering attack, which would make sense because that's, actually somewhat dangerous. Rather than doing nothing. Also, a little dangerous.
Oh
no.
First Za death.
I do agree, the sound effect is really nice.
Za is definitely a boss where you can easily die to him several times.
Oh yeah. There's the Doom Dance. Lucky miss. Oh. No, not that time. Za actually has less HP than Pazuzu, so it doesn't last as long, but his one-shot potential and speed is just crazy. So once Psycho Shield goes down, Phoebe actually has a very, very small chance of going first, so you still don't want to cast a spell on him, unless you're playing it really risky.
And looks like Penguin doesn't. Or he does.
Ooh, he did play it risky.
But it works out for him.
Yep, you're right. Nice.
Yeah, all these bad calls I'm making, I'm just going to blame on my allergies. I think that's a winning call.
Nice. Just skips the whole last animation, takes him out.
Very nice. And it's not a sub 2, but it is a very solid time indeed coming up from Penguin.
Opting to drop down on the left side there rather than dropping on the right, like I believe quite a few people do. Or it might be around the same time because you have to walk down. I'm actually not sure. Can you exit after that fight? You can, but it takes you out to the world map. So you'd have to walk back from the Bone Dungeon section, which you don't really want to do.
Alright, everyone prepare yourself for the epic final boss. It's gonna be a nail biter.
Yeah, he might use Iron Nail on you.
Ooh.
Yeah, Black Belt, that's true. The animations only switch whenever he does a Psycho Shield attack, so you can just kind of blow him up before one changes.
Penguin uses the bomb for good luck. He has it equipped for good luck.
Oh, Ben gets paralyzed. He's gonna have to take a couple more turns to get this remedied. Now he needs 2 cures from Ben. No, don't cure. Okay, yeah, defend Ben. Very amusing. Alright, that'll do it.
And Dark King turns into a tentacle spider before he just disappears.
He hasn't done in the IRC just yet. Does he know he needs to do that?
He probably should do that.
Hello, hello.
Hey, you need the done on the IRC.
Yeah, gotta make it official.
There you go. Alright, so
Nice PB.
PenguinNinja finished in first place with the time of 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 8 seconds, which is 10 minutes and 58 seconds faster than their PB.
So that's faster in terms of a race time, but it's not like my fastest run, obviously. And I actually had a chance, I think, for sub 2, but that Zuh fight messed me up.
Yeah, it certainly did.
It was pretty solid all the way through, though.
I started off with like a crit and a 2-cycle behemoth, and then the Bone Dungeon was awful.
It was a little worse for your opponent, but yeah, you took a death on Flamerus, right? Or
No,
am
it's just I
making
kept
it up?
getting that 3 formation. I ran away from like every fight at the beginning
Oh, I
of
see.
the game.
Yeah, some of the later bosses you actually got really either good
How
RNG
I
or
pot-chapped so hard when I saw that floor 6. I was like, oh, there's a chance, guys.
yeah, we were pretty excited here too because you were we noticed how quick everything was going on. We're not exactly well versed in like pace wise, but we could tell how well everything was going on.
Yeah, I got a really good worm room in the tree. There's a lot of 2 formation worms. I got out of that door and I was like, oh, there's a chance that we're back on PB pace. But then Mount Gale was interesting when Kaylee died, and I was like, okay, as long as he doesn't crit me, I'll kill him. And then
Yep.
the Zuzu fight, so...
That was really impressive. Well, we've only had three races so far, but I'm pretty sure yours is the fastest time.
It's hard to beat a floor 6 that ends up being sub 205.
I'll say.
Oh yeah, it's pretty intimidating for anyone else in your group bracket, I'd say. Hey Penguin, can
It's
you do me a
interesting because
favor?
I'm in the group with 3 people, so we had the option if we wanted to do a time trial. I don't think I have to post one now with this 202.
Yeah, that's definitely sure. You can you do me and actually more Mekon a favor after after you get through that? You can just go back to Fireberg and let the chat enjoy the beautiful rock and roll music.
Oh yeah, you got it. No problem. I'll give it a hard reset and then jump over there.
Thank you. All right. So on the screen, Ben, steals the ship that Captain Mac owes him, sails off in the sunset, because one man can certainly operate a sailing boat of that size.
But
Until now, that's PogChamp to you.
the the boombox ninja Tristram comes back. Oh my gosh, that was a really good run. Yeah,
There's a
I mean,
lot
it's
of
not like-
close calls.
It's not like JC's run is bad either. Like his run is going to be a pretty good time. Just he ran into, I got the floor 6 and like a really good wind crystal.
he also got floor 6 actually.
Oh, did he?
He did, yes.
Oh wow.
He's been playing good, but like he got hit hard on some of these boss fights.
Yeah, he might have taken, I think, 2 or 3 deaths on Flamers from the start. I think he was exiting Ice Pyramid. I think he was 7 minutes behind still.
Oh wow. Okay, I had that much of an advantage going into. Wow. Okay.
I think
Yeah.
exiting Mount Gale, you were 12 minutes ahead.
So yeah,
So
a
what
couple
they don't tell you
unfortunate-
about that twin head Wyvern Matt fight that he's on right now is that the first like 5,000 or 6,000 damage is super important. As soon as he loses that first head, he stops doing the breath attacks, and that's what's causing most of the panic at the beginning of that fight.
Oh, that's interesting to know. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah, after that he just casts Thunder and his claw attack, and it's not enough to be super dangerous.
Who would have thought when you lose an entire head, you don't breathe fire well?
Yeah, I know it happens to me all the time. So yeah, JC, he's having a good time. He's definitely a better player than I am, but that RNG, man.
It cleans that up pretty okay. Phoebe, before it gets a little too hairy, he fixed it.
Oh yeah.
This Cerberus he's fighting now, you can actually opt to fight earlier instead of right now. It takes just one additional step if you want to, because you have to come this way anyway after the fight. So it really doesn't. Oh no, no wait, that's fine because Flare is just amazing. See ya.
See ya. Honestly, I thought the third 3 servers you're supposed to flare defend anyway. So
Yes, that's right. At least that's what I do.
I don't think we ever mentioned to chat how defend you could also, opt to cover a ally of yours, which is arguably the most useful part of it.
Oh yeah, defending just takes all damage from your ally and moves it towards you. So even if they use like Quake, which hits both characters, the defending character will get hit with both of them. And it's
And
very
resistant,
useful
too.
for-
Yeah, it's actually really, really good. I actually use it in the skull fight. If I know, because what's actually interesting, it's the only time it happens the entire game. Like, in the skull fight, Benjamin is the primary damage dealer. Like, Tristram is there as a bullet sponge. So, if it gets down to the point where he's going to start spamming Rip Earth, I just have Tristram defend and have Benjamin do all of the damage, because that's what he's there to do.
Oh yeah, those cures do what, 250 I think?
Yep.
250 for cures, and then bombs are about 190, which is still more than Tristram if he doesn't crit, so...
Oh, you can get a view of what Windia actually looks like with the clouds gone right here.
Yeah, I actually have not remembered what it looks like. So that was new to me.
Yes, it's my full save clear for the resistance glitch. Let's get some rock music in here.
Nice.
You're going to Aquaria.
Yeah, it's definitely Aquaria.
Oh wait, but you can go this way still, because once you clear Lava Dome, you can just walk through here.
Oh, that's right.
No, Elmagus did not join this tournament. He's probably got some busy stuff going on.
Hey, Penguin, do you also run 100%?
I haven't practiced it, no. I haven't. I've looked at it. I kind of want a more complete guide. Elmagus hasn't written one for it. I guess right now I don't know.
I just had a feeling that you also had that knowledge of it. So
I'm a one-game speedrunner. This is my game. I've played it since I was like 4, so I have like a very fond affinity for it.
You certainly showed that off today.
So what's your favorite enemy sprite? Any of you?
Oh gosh. So the desert hags and the water hags, I really love their surprise face.
It's actually a really good question.
I like the gargoyle surprised face. They're like, "Oh, my sword's broken. Crap."
Oh, I just got a text from my mother. I'm listening to your commentary. What is RNG?
Oh, gosh.
Shoutouts to my mom.
I've met your mother too.
Anyway, JaySee is coming up on Zoa here pretty soon.
RNG is that guy who messes things up for you and you don't like him. That's why we curse at him.
RNG's the guy my mom warned me about. Don't worry, Feasel. I let her know.
I wish my mother warned me about RNG.
If she did, you wouldn't be playing this game.
That's why I'm here.
Some pretty good dance moves going on over there. I like it.
Just killing some time, getting my groove on.
This game's got it all. RNG and rock and roll. Who needs drugs?
Uh-oh. Yep. That's the dangers. Aegis shield for life.
It's not even the stone resistance that's the scariest. That's the most important part. Paralyze is actually the more damaging status effect.
I would
not be able to do anything.
Yeah, that's pretty awful. I would especially think so on the boss if he uses Paralyze right at the start and hits you. The Wyvern. Since that's going to be the damage push phase, getting paralyzed right at the start there would probably be really scary.
Hey, Penguin, how do you pronounce this next boss?
Za? I like Za. I've heard Zoo. I don't know how I feel about that.
I like this guy. I like Za as well.
So do I.
We're going to join the Za club.
It's not like Za sounds like one of those ancient tribal gods. We summon Za. Za.
That might not be very wrong. Let's ask Google.
Well, Pazuzu is an actual thing, I know, but I have no idea about Zuck.
No. No, maybe not. Oh, Zu means fire in the Sumerian language. It says Zu though, not Zuh.
I mean, I don't see him casting any fire spells, so...
Yeah, probably not the right one.
Holy crap, though, that fight would be such a pain in the ass if you did. At least I have resistance to wind.
Yeah.
Where's the place where you get resistance to fire?
It's in Mount Gale. You have to go north.
Apollo Helm, right.
Either
Yeah, the
Apollo or
Apollo Helm.
Moonhelm in the Lava Dome.
You can go to the Lava Dome to get the Moon Helm if you want to.
I mean, maybe in 100%. I ain't ever doing that many. My split for the actual, like, fire portion of Dune Castle is literally, wait, there's a fire area, question mark?
JC taking fortune death on Zuh.
I more question who this Ruben guy is. He seems awfully nice. I'd never met him before.
Alright, Anzu, before misread as Zu, is a lesser divinity or monster in several Mesopotamian religions. He was conceived by the pure waters of the Apsu and the wide earth, or as son of Sirius. Anzu was seen as a massive bird who can breathe fire and water, although Anzu is alternatively seen as a lion-headed eagle, like a reverse griffin.
Huh.
And knowing is half the battle. Yeah, if anyone in chat has any questions, please send them out. Alright, come on, JC, you got this.
I have a question for Penguin. How much time did that fire, that first inventory glitch skip save?
This run used to be, I think, like 2 hours and 25 minutes without that skip. Actually having to go through Volcano and Mine. Well, there was the skip. You could actually skip fighting the Jin boss in the mine, but you'd still have to go through Volcano and Lava Dome, and that's about 20-ish minutes.
That's actually less time than I thought.
Yeah, Volcano isn't actually all that long, is it? I guess White's in there too. You can get a pretty good spell fairly early on.
Yeah, that's what lets you get through Lava Dome pretty quickly is having White, because you get to level 16, you have White, and you can clear most of the enemies after, like, Ruben cleaves one of them with his giant mace.
JC finishing up Zuh. That's how you pronounce it.
And then Dark King will be not too long behind. Okay, so he's going down there. And yeah, it doesn't seem that much slower or quicker.
You should be finishing up with sub 220 though. It's gonna be pretty close, but I'm pretty sure he can do it. Pazuzu, I like that.
Penguin, when did that inventory glitch get discovered? Do you remember?
Actually, I don't know personally. When I started running this when there wasn't that we didn't know about the skip, but then I think as far back as I started running it more consistently, which is about 18 months ago, it's been in place, so.
Alright, so somewhere between 18 months and earlier.
I guess we could just all hop onto the guide and look and see when Elmegus last updated it, because I think the last update was when he put that in. Before it used to have what you do for the mine skip in Lava Dome.
I think I still have it up somewhere. Let me pull it up.
It says 2014 at the top. Oh,
Okay.
last updated March 5th, 15.
That seems about right. Like 2 years, I guess, now.
Oh, JC. That's gonna do it, right? Nice. JC
GG.
finishing with 2:19:53. Very good.
He also improved his PB.
His race PB, he improved it by 12 minutes and 46 seconds. Very good.
Congrats to JC and congrats to Penguin. PenguinNinja takes the win, and I think that's all for Final Fantasy Mystic Quest for tonight. Is that right?
Yeah, I think there's a... Well, I mean... Hold on a sec. Should we can pull up... If JC wants to join us in commentary, I'm sure he can. Unless Feasel... Unless we gotta log out here. Alright.
Yeah, we're trying to get JC in here.
He's just making sure the audio situation is right before he hops in, I think.
Ah, I see.
Welcome, JaySee87. Very, very nice finish.
It was awesome. So we had the double floor 6, I take
Yes.
it?
Yes,
Nice.
absolutely. You had some pretty unfortunate RNG in some points.
Mainly with Flame Wars. Then I had like the triple miss with the exit on Stone Golem. Not Stone Golem. Skull Rust.
Yeah, Skullrust. That was that was pretty iffy there. I saw he was still alive and both shadows were still there.
One came back to life.
I love how scared the shadows look on the ground, and then they clone themselves a buddy to be scared with.
Yeah. Crazy.
Then I guess Za didn't go so hot near the ending either.
Well, it was at least a early troll. My PB had like 2 or 3 Za deaths.
Oh, I see.
So I saved 7 minutes on that split.
Oh, wow.
I've never seen Kira miss that much on Dark King. That was weird. I'm serious, like, why are you missing?
Well, I got some important questions for you, JC.
Okay.
One of them being, what's your favorite enemy sprite?
My favorite enemy sprite. I like the Medusa when she's about to die.
Oh, she goes bald?
She gets bald and scared and stuff like that.
Nice.
We have only the most important questions here in the post-commentary race. Post-race commentary.
I see.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. Entertainment, because my game knowledge ain't that great.
Yeah, both of us are still kind of beginners with the game, so we're learning the ins and outs.
I think I literally learned this Sunday.
Last weekend?
Yeah, literally Sunday.
I mean, it's not very hard to know what's going on with the game once you start learning it.
Also, that FAQ from Mel Magus just details everything.
Everything. And then
Yeah.
some of the current racers in the tournament, we've also made our own compiled list on things.
I saw that-
Because all Magus's stuff is extremely detailed when we want something that's a little bit more quick, if we're going to use it while we run.
So,
See,
shout
you
out
were
to anyone.
also,
Sorry, go ahead.
that's right. You were also the person who compiled the battle formations thing, right? The one that's at the end of the major FAQ.
I didn't make the one in the FAQ. I made one based off of it, then posted it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And
Yeah.
I gotta say, that's been actually very helpful for me as a new player, just keeping that on the side.
Yeah, because my goal on that one was, since there were so many formations that have the exact same response, I'd rather group them by responses than list everything together. Or list like each in every battle and then a response to follow it. I just wanted like a small thing. It's like, okay, so these 5 groups have the same response. Let's do it this way.
Yeah, it works out very well.
I think so.
I was just going to point out to anyone in chat still listening that, hey, if it, you can also learn it really quick too. There's a bunch of good resources that we just talked about.
You can basically dedicate 6 hours, not even 6 hours, and you'll have a basic route down. By the second run, you'll have the movement itself down. Then from there, it's just all about slowly remembering how you're supposed to handle each battle.
Yeah, because nothing in this game is like reactionary. It's just memorization, and it goes at your pace, so you don't have to really worry about, oh, I missed out on this thing because I wasn't fast enough. There's none of that.
There's no frame perfect glitches.
Just frame perfect RNG.
Yeah. I had a question for both of you. We were kind of talking about this earlier, but does blind affect spells like Cure when cast on enemies? Cure and Exit.
So I don't know if you saw the first fight in the Hallway of Death, the Manticore hallway. I went into there with blind, and Kaylee missed life 4 times. And so the first time it resulted in a death. The second time I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna run, heal up, make sure the blind is gone, and then go back in. So it does, I think, affect the white magic spells, Exit and Life. I don't think it affects the black and wizard magic spells, the combat spells.
Yeah, I can't confirm anything.
I see. Yeah, I figured the action, like the typical attack spells, seem to always have perfect accuracy. So I was just curious if the white ones did too. But it does seem like, since they have the ability to miss, that they are affected by it.
It seems like it, yeah. Of course, I normally don't let myself stay in that situation for too long.
Right.
Yeah, I started to freak out a little bit in Ice Pyramid when actually on the Ice Golem battle, when I saw if you were starting to use up my heal potions too soon.
Oh gosh.
I noticed, it's like, okay, I'm not using Auto the Cure anymore.
Yeah, that sounds like something you don't want to accidentally get done.
Yeah.
What's a good time to save those heal potions for, though? Like when Tristram...
Well, you need them in your inventory until you buy the 0 seed. Well, until you buy the 19 potions.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Then, after that, you just need them gone by the time you're done with Pazuzu. Which should be no problem.
Yeah, typically if you let Kaylee auto the Beholder fight, she'll burn through them real fast, so it's not usually an issue as long as you still have them when you Firebird skip.
Oh yeah, the heal potion, that's right. Yeah, I have like a very, very condensed version of notes, and I just have use all heal potions by this point. So I know it. I mean, usually they'll be gone by that time just because of, yeah, like you said, the Beholder's just blinding you left and right.
Yep.
I think I'm out of questions.
Yeah, I think that might be about it for us.
JaySee, you have the next, at least scheduled race, right?
Yeah, me and Couch are going to be reaching tomorrow. I forgot what time we're doing this. Sometime tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe I'll come in and commentate for that.
Yeah,
Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay.
And that will be on... that'll be on...
Speed Gaming 2.
Yes, Speed Gaming 2, that's right. And then I think tomorrow at 4 p.m... No, wait. Yes, at 4 p.m. on Speed Gaming 1 is the Zelda 1 Randomizer Finals. So definitely check that out. That's what the schedule says, if I'm reading it correctly.
Don't lie to me, schedule.
And a Banjo-Kazooie match starts on Speed Gaming 2 here at that same time. So pull up the multi-twitch and definitely stay tuned for both of those next day, tomorrow.
Next time. All right. Man, good runs, JC, Penguin.
Thank
Both
you.
do good job.
Yep.
Good job with the commentary, guys.
Yep, my only goal on this one was to PB, and that's what I did.
Yeah, nice
good.
PBs.
I mean, I'm out. Basically, my only real chance of having it at least be a close race was if I got a 6 and Penguin got it a 2.
That would have definitely evened it up just a little bit, I think.
Yeah, and then if I wasn't dumb in the ice pyramid part, can't believe I forgot to flip a switch.
Oh no. It was a little hectic at that time, so I think I might have missed that part. But anyway, but good job regardless.
Yeah, so I'm happy with this run.
Yeah. A lot better than what I was doing.
You'll get it.
All right, well, thank you everybody. So this is Mikan and Teef on commentary. Thank you to our runners, JC and PenguinNinja. Catch you next time.
See you later.